You kick off a massive Claude Code run, a big refactor, a migration, an overnight agent job. You walk away.
You come back, and it's dead. Claude is experiencing high demand.
Hours of agent work gone, not because your code was wrong, but because the model got slammed for 30 seconds and the whole session fell over.
Claude Code just killed that problem.
In a run of updates that landed just days apart, it quietly became almost unkillable. And buried in the exact same release is a security hole you probably didn't know you were running. Stick around. That one's at the end, and it matters more than it sounds. Start with the headliner. Claude Code added a setting called fallbackModel. You can now line up to 3 backup models when your primary is overloaded or just straight up unavailable. It doesn't crash and burn. It drops to the next model in your list and keeps right on going.
3 deep. Tried in order. Automatic.
So picture the bad day. Opus is getting hammered. The whole timeline is posting 529 overloaded errors. Everybody's runs are dying, and yours just rolls over to Sonnet, or whatever you put next in the chain, and finishes the job like nothing happened. And here's the detail that actually makes it useful. Fallback used to only kick in for background tasks. Now it works in your live interactive session too. The thing you're literally sitting in front of, watching, is the thing that stops dying on you. Setting it up takes about 30 seconds. You drop a fallback model into your settings or pass -- fallback model on the command line. List your chain and you're done. Same release even hands you a thinking toggle. Set max thinking tokens to 0 or pass thinking disabled, and you can switch off extended thinking even on models that think by default. Handy when you want a fast, cheap answer and you don't need the model chewing on it.
But here's where it gets interesting for anyone who runs agents off the leash.
Deny rules just got glove support.
That means you can write a single asterisk, 1 star, and deny every tool at once. Then allow back exactly the handful you actually trust. Read only here, one specific command there. If you've ever been nervous about turning an autonomous agent loose on your machine, that's the lock you've been missing. You flip it from allow everything except to deny everything, allow a few. And if you fat finger a tool name in a deny rule, it now warns you at startup instead of silently protecting nothing. Now, real talk, because this channel doesn't just sell you the hype.
Fallback models are not magic. You have to set the chain up yourself. It is not on by default. So if you never configure it, nothing changes for you. And when you do fall back to a smaller model mid-run, the output can shift. Your catchnet brain isn't your main brain, and it might solve the problem a little differently.
So be deliberate. Put fast, cheap models in as the safety net, not as your everyday driver. Set it once. Then you basically stop losing work to outages, and that trade is a no-brainer. Okay, the part nobody's talking about. If you run more than one Claude Code agent and you have them message each other, and more of you are doing exactly that, there was a quiet, ugly problem. A message relayed from one session used to carry your authority. Read that again. One agent relays a message, and the agent on the other end could treat it like you, the human, personally approved it, permissions and all. Picture a researcher agent and a builder agent. The researcher relays, yeah, go run that, and the builder acts on it with your stamp. This update slams that shut. Relayed messages no longer carry user authority. The receiver flat out refuses relayed permission requests, and in auto mode, it blocks them entirely. If you're building multi-agent systems, that is not a footnote in a changelog. That's a privilege escalation path getting welded shut before anybody got burned by it. And they are not slowing down. Just days apart, 2 more dropped. There's a safe mode flag that boots Claude Code with every single customization switched off. So the next time your setup is mysteriously broken and you're losing your mind wondering if it's you or the tool, you get one clean switch to find out. And there's a /cd command that moves your session into a different folder without blowing away your prompt cache. And if you've ever watched that cache rebuild itself and felt it in your bill, you already know why that's a gift. So what can you actually do now that you couldn't a week ago? 5 things. 1. Start an overnight agent run and actually trust it survives an outage.
2. Run parallel subagents without leaving a permissions backdoor wide open.
3. Hand an autonomous agent a deny all, allow a few rulebook, and genuinely sleep.
4. Recover a broken setup with one flag instead of an hour of bisecting your own config.
5. Move a session between projects without paying to warm that cache all over again. And here's the real story. None of this got a flashy launch. No P-note, no hype thread. It just showed up in the changelog, a few versions apart, while everyone was busy staring at the next giant model.
This is Claude Code growing up, from a toy you babysit into something you can actually leave running. That's the stuff that changes how you build.
Subscribe and I'll keep digging it out of the patch notes. So you don't have to.